What's good, YouTube? SlimTv here to put in a good word or two. Today, I wanted to talk about your purpose is right in front of you, and it's been right in front of you. On this YouTube space, a lot of people are always complaining and talking about how do I find my purpose? How do I find what I'm good at? And I'm here to tell you that your purpose has literally been right under your nose your whole entire life. See, when we're growing up, a lot of the times what happens in our life, our experiences, what people say, the environments that we're in, it breaks us down. It breaks us. It stops us from doing what we've always been good at. Like for me, for example, I've always been good at writing. I've always been good at speaking. I've always been good at seeing things from a different perspective. And even though I was never really good at art, I always used to like to draw. And that's another thing I'll probably get to later. But let's just focus on writing, speaking, and seeing things from a different perspective. Now, when we put all that together, and then you go and look at all of the videos I've made so far, you can see how that's helped me, because writing helps you articulate your thoughts. Speaking, you can see that I'm speaking right now, and it's making sense, it's clear. And then perspective, I'm able to give you guys a different perspective. I'm able to see things from a different light, and hopefully that enlightens you guys. And for other people, you may be good. Let's just say, for example, you're good at math, right? You're good at math, and there's a lot of things that you could do with math. Math is something that, or let's say you've always been good with numbers. Not even math per se, but you've always been good at numbers. You've always been able to look at numbers and kind of see things from a different perspective with numbers specifically, So you're good with numbers, and all your life you've kind of been able to just breeze through these math classes. All your life you've always been able to like look at certain shapes or something, and you just know, oh, that's about, if I had to eyeball it, it's about like 12 inches, right? And then you measure it and it's 13 inches, but it's close. Like, you've always had that knack. You've always had that spark in you for numbers, math, right? But then let's say that throughout life, people always told you, nah, man, you're not that smart. Nah, man, that didn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. You're doing a math problem, you're trying to show the class what you did, and they're like, that don't make no sense. Why would you do that? Why would you put that there? You've been beaten to a point to where you learn to hate yourself, pretty much. You hate the things that make you you. And so now you're not able to do what you're called to do, because you've been conditioned to hate yourself. And now let's use that art example, right? And I wanted to say this for later in the video, because you could be good at art, right? Or maybe you're just into art, right? But you're not really good at it. That doesn't mean that art isn't your purpose. It means that your purpose with art is different from everyone else's. Now let me explain. So let's say that, like, I'm only good at drawing stick figures. So every picture I make is a stick figure. But in that picture, there's different things happening. Like, it's creative. So maybe you're not good at drawing, but especially with technology today, you're able to put certain things together to make it look good. You make things look creative, and that leads you into doing like other things. Maybe you're like a graphic designer. Maybe you animate things for a TV show. The list can go on. So your purpose, all because, you may not be good at something specifically, but you're able to kind of, do things in a different way. That basically is showing that, yeah, this is my purpose. Like, I know my purpose is related to art, but I'm doing this art in a different way. Same thing with the math. You may not necessarily be good at doing the mathematics. You may not be good at algebra, but you're really good at eyeballing measurements. Okay, maybe that means you will be a really good contractor. You would be someone that is really good at surveying a piece of land, and getting the measurements, getting the acreage, and getting that to the real estate company, so then they know, what they're selling. Your purpose could be a myriad of things, but it started when you were smaller. And this is why people say that comparison You should never compare yourself to other people. You should never compare your skills to someone else's skills. Because again, it could be, your skills could be used in a myriad of ways different from the other person. And also, when you start comparing your skills to someone else's, you're blocking your own purpose. You're blocking it. You're basically telling yourself, you know what, I wish I had what he had, subconsciously, and what I have isn't good enough. So now you're blocking yourself from fulfilling what you got to fulfill, or what you got to do, or what you're put here to do. And some people say, you always end up at your purpose. You always end up doing what you're called to do. That's not necessarily true. Because in my opinion, purpose also has to come with courage. Usually your purpose is something that you're afraid to do, or you're afraid to acknowledge, because again, you learned to hate yourself. So you learn to hate yourself, and now because you have that thought about yourself, you're not able to act on what you need to act on. You're afraid. Fear is a strong tool for the enemy. And if you're religious, you know what that means. Or if you read the Bible or whatever, you know what that means. But even so, because the enemy can be a myriad of things. It could even be you. I've said this. You can be your own worst enemy. So fear is a tactic of the enemy, right? So fear can literally stop anything if you let it. Keyword, if you let it. You have to be able to overcome that fear, overcome that insecurity, to be able to fully recognize and accept your purpose and then act on it. That's the only way you're going to get to it. People talk about, read books, do this, do that, try a bunch of things. Trying a bunch of things is cool too, but at the end of the day, acknowledge yourself for who you are. And again, you know who you are. You know the things that you were good at in the past, or the things that you thought about in the past that maybe you're thinking about doing now, but you're just afraid to do it. Conquer that fear, overcome it, and you're gonna get to your purpose one way or another. Because after you get over all the insecurity and the fear that you have of yourself, or of anything really, you have no choice but to really get to know yourself and act on these things. Final example, man. I was scared to start this channel. I was scared to put myself out on social media because I was afraid of what other people thought of me. That basically has been my biggest fear throughout my whole entire life up to this point, up until now. I was afraid of the thoughts of society. What would they say if they seen me up on this camera talking? What would they think what if so and so found my channel? What if they found my channel? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Though their thoughts doesn't matter, because I know that what I have to provide is going to be a great deal of help to anybody who wants to listen and anybody who understands this message. And I'm probably going to do like a backstory of me in the near future. That's definitely something I'm going to do. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. Love you guys. Peace. And if you need more SlimTv, subscribe to my Instagram for weekly shorts and more coming soon.